Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kayode. The purpose of this video is to install Prometheus and also use Prometheus to scrape other servers like Linux machine and Windows server, and then use Grafana to better visualize the metrics that the Prometheus is collecting from the various instances. Someone asked me to make this video, so this video can be used to monitor your servers within your environment, and you can also use it to to visualize, to see the importance of Grafana, right? I mean, if you want to go open source, like if you don't want to do Datadog, New Relic and all of that. So I think this video is going to be very helpful. So the what we're gonna be doing, our aim is to use Prometheus, to monitor and see the health of our systems, and also to then configure Prometheus server, and also we will configure Node Explorer, and then we will install the Window Explorer and configure it inside the Prometheus YAML file. And also we will create alert manager. We will also create rules, right? So the alert manager is, like when your instance is down, it should alert you through it, through your email or so, but yeah, we'll get there. And then we will install Grafana and import the dashboard. So the prerequisite is for us to have the instances on the same network. I mean, our server should be on the same network, and we should also make sure that we have the port open. This port, the 9090 for Prometheus, 99100 for Node Explorer, the 9182 for Windows, and the port 3000 for Grafana, port 3389 for Windows RDP. We got to RDP into the Windows, because I actually wanted to use my home network before, but I felt that that would be much more of an headache if I begin to block part of my IP and all of that. It's not going to be much visual, but whatever we do here, you can run it on your system. In case, let's say, you want to use it for your personal system at home, you can actually run everything the same thing like this on your system. I mean, all the various system you want to monitor. And also this, I've already make a script for it, so that we can make this video very precise, without diving into too much of thing. So because we want to cover a lot, so let's just do everything at once, and this is done. Okay, so let's get in. So I'll be using AWS for all the instances. So let's create the AWS instance. So I will do Prometheus server, and then I will use Ubuntu for that. I'll keep it very minimal so that we don't attract charges. I'll keep it as T2 macro, and then I'll use my key. I want to use this key. So if you don't have a key, you have to create your own key while you are configuring your new servers, right? So I also have existing security group. If you don't have, you have to create your existing group. So I'll use my own existing group and make sure that all the servers are on the same group. So you launch it. So let me go to another one and create another server. Let me call this one Linux 1, and then I'll use Ubuntu for that. And also I will keep it low, and then I will use the same key, and then I'll keep it on the same security group, and then I will launch this. Okay, let's have one more Linux. Let's create one more Linux server. So I will have another Linux 2, and then I'll keep it as Ubuntu. I'll keep everything very low, and then I'll use this keep them and select my security group and launch it. So I will launch a Windows server as well. Let's launch a Win server. I don't want to keep it just on the Linux only, so I know many people might have a Windows operating system, Windows server that they want to use. Why? I'm not using this. I want to use. Okay, cool. Let's just make it Linux 3. I think it's already. Just make this Linux 3 is a mistake. So we'll use the same key. Okay. I will use this. Now we'll launch that. So I'll be very careful this time around for the Win server. I think my system is really, really hot. I haven't shut it down for days. So yeah. Okay, so I will use the same key for the window. So we're gonna use Windows Server here. I think it's gonna provision Windows Server 2025, I guess. Yes. Okay, so security group, we'll keep it under the same security group and we will launch it. I think the one that we will need to do few more steps will be the Windows Server. So we'll get there. So I actually keep this on running. Let me keep on all states, then I'll keep it on all the running. Okay, so I don't want other instances to just be too much over there. So we're gonna start with let's start with the Prometheus server quickly. Let's get the information for the Prometheus server, and then I'll be using mobile Steam to SSH into the Prometheus server. You can use Puri, but if I use Puri, it's just gonna be too tiny. I mean, you're not gonna see what I'm doing well. So I prefer to use mobile Steam because I can enlarge the view. So I will go to my new connection SSH. If you don't have mobile Steam on your system, you can just watch one of my video that shows how you can install mobile Steam. It's very good. It's not actually allowed in an enterprise level. I mean, when you're working in an organization, your sec will not approve it. But of course, you can use it to connect to your stuff. It's very good. Uh, it allows you to enlarge your screen compared to Putty that's just going to remain tiny and very difficult to enlarge. Okay, so we'll do Ubuntu on this one, and then we will do private key. So I'm going to connect to my private key, which is this one, and link up my system. So that is my this is my Prometheus server. Okay, so what I will do straight away is let me just quickly maybe give it a name. Let me just say host name, just say host name ctl set host name, and let's call it Prometheus server. Okay, let me do host name. Let me do. Oh, come on! It's asking me for password. I don't have a password for it. Did I? It's got to stack. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna use. Let me just use this. So just pass it through that. So through sudo. So I'll just use sudo there. Host name. So we have it as Prometheus server. Okay, so let's quickly jump onto the Linux one. Let's see that. That is Linux one, and copy the IP. So let's use this. So Ubuntu, and then I'll use the same key, and I will say okay. So yeah, So we can just do the same thing. So that's another, let me just quickly, that's another server. So I'm just going to make this one Linux server 1. So Linux server 1. Okay, cool. So let's not waste much time on that. So what we're going to do next is to install Prometheus, and then with the Node Explorer, it has a Node Explorer that is just going to scrape so that we could be able to see how it's scraping. Let me see my view if, yeah, so we can just enlarge it more. Yep, that's good. Let's enlarge this one also more. Okay, that makes sense. So yep, so this is, we're gonna like, I don't, it's going to be really much if we want to start typing it one after the other. So so we're gonna install the Prometheus first. So in this script, I'll put this script in the public GitHub, in my GitHub, so you can just easily copy this and run it without giving yourself too much of headache. So what this script will do is gonna be reusable, right? So you can save it as install underscore Prometheus or whatever name you want to call it. You then permit executable rights, by doing this, and then run the script using this, right? Or you can SSH directly. And then initial step, you have to copy the Prometheus binary into the path and create the system file, system D service file, for Prometheus, and start and enable the service file and confirm the status of Prometheus. Move all the file to the standard location. So I'm going to keep it very clean, and then we will keep it inside user local bin Prometheus. And then in the background service, we're going to use system service to power it on. In case you want to run it first before you power, you can use this to run it. So this is what we have here. So this one, of course, in case anything happens, is going to terminate it immediately. So we got to start from here and do an update into the machine, and then install Vim in case, of course, we do, it might be there, it might not be there. But most time Vim is there, as it's Nano that you might need to install, but at least let's just install it as part of our prerequisites. Then the version of the Prometheus we're installing is the 3.40, and then Prometheus file, will be it will be this, right? And then Prometheus folder will be Prometheus with the value of the version, and then it's going to copy all of it from here. And then the Node Exporter will be Node Exporter 1.9.0. I actually don't want to keep this video too much. The purpose of Node Exporter is for the Prometheus itself, right, to scrape its own metrics, right? And then other servers, other Linux server will also be in the same place, but will get there. So it will be much more simplified when we get in there. So these are the variables that will happen, and then it will begin to call it. It's going to call the URL that we specify there, the version, right? It's going to call it. It's going to call this one, you get, and then it's going to extract it and extract the file, which is this one, and then it's going to change the directory to the folder, this one. And then optionally, if you want to do that, what I told you before, if you want to run this, but I don't want that to run, that's why I comment on it so that it will not run. So then it's going to make a directory, which I said we want to make it very clean, and copy all the file. So it's going to make a directory of user local bin Prometheus, and then copy all the file into that, and then create a Prometheus system D file. So the system D file will be this. This is the normal for Prometheus. and then the network, the one to be the network target, and then after will be the network target, and then make it very simple, and then copy the file. Exec start is going to start from that data. The data will be inside the Prometheus, local bin Prometheus data. And then installed will be just simple multiple user, target. And then it will reload the system D, using this systemctl daemon reload. And also you can use that to enable and start and stop and use it for status. All of this is just going to be what we'll keep using to either stop. Let me just copy it one side. Either we want to stop, start, or restart Prometheus. And then we'll confirm the status by this. You can see like what I said. Then it will come down to the node exporter itself and install the node exporter and do the same thing it did there and create the system D service, keep everything like this, and then restart this system D, and then configure Prometheus. Is going to scrape it. So inside the Prometheus is going to keep this local host of the same Prometheus IP address, port 9100. So that reminds me, we need to open the port. Okay, so it's going to reset the Prometheus and apply the configuration inside it, and so it's going to reboot it and then start it. So that is what this script is going to do. You can go through it later, but yes, is far better than us copying everything one by one, and that's the purpose of scripting. All right, so we'll copy the script. Let's copy the script, and then let's go into our server. So before we go into our server, I think we should quickly open the port. Prometheus is running on 1990. I don't know if I mentioned that. Prometheus is running on 1990. So we need to open that port as well. So let's open the port. So we are on the Prometheus. This Prometheus will run on this port 1990. So we go to your security group, like I said, and then this is security group. If you remember, Kubernetes Master SG1 security that I selected. Then I will go to inbound rule, and then I will add that rule, leave it the way it is here. We're gonna add port 9090, which is for the Prometheus, and then we can say IP4 and allow to the public. Of course, you don't allow to the public if you are working on your enterprise, right? Okay, so we've allowed this port, so that means it's going to run. So let's go back, and then we do sudo vi. I'll just use sudo all through because I don't want to go through all this authentication stuff. So I now will call this Prometheus install. Let me just call it that with .sh. All right, so I'm creating that file. Then you press I, to edit, and then I'll put all of this script here. So all of the script is here. Then I'll escape, colon, write, quit. So that's it. And then I'm going to run this. I will just use the sudo all through. So we'll run this, and then the Prometheus will install, and also install the node exporter. So I'm going to pause the video. Once it finishes, then I will return back to the video. Maybe we should try the opportunity to open those ports. Anyway, when we get there, okay, we can use the opportunity to start RDP inside the Windows server. Let's do that quickly so we can get access to our Windows server. So Windows Server, because it's a Windows Server, we need to RDP into it. It's different from the SSH. So we have to first connect, because Windows Server definitely gonna come with its own authentication. And so we need to convert that RSA file and decrypt it, right? So we need to decrypt it and turn it to a password that would then allow us to get into this Windows server, because we won't be able to connect to that Windows server. Like for example, if I do, let's copy, come here, and then create a new, okay, this Windows server this one has finished. So let's do, maybe we should continue and just finish everything. So before we go into the Windows server. Okay, so we've installed the Prometheus, and then Node Explorer has been installed. Everything we said, in the script has already been performed. And this one is showing that the Windows server, Prometheus has been installed, sorry. So, and then we created we echo this so that this can show that, system, it says to stop Prometheus, to start Prometheus. So now to check the status of Prometheus, we can just say sudo this. So I make this very easy so that we can use it. So status, you can see Prometheus is active. So now what we need to do next is, you remember we said in our, where is the, this is our, this thing. So we already have that happen. So the next thing we want to do now is to install the Node Explorer, right? This one. So this Node Explorer uh, is going to allow us to join the Linux, to the Prometheus, right? So because Prometheus need to take metrics from that Linux server, I mean your other servers, right? The purpose of Prometheus is the server which is taking the metrics from others. So we need a connection through that. So we will do this. So this script, we install the Node Explorer on an Ubuntu, and we will manually join the Prometheus to target. After installation, we will go to the YAML file, right? And then we will get the, we will connect it through the port number. So now we need to open a port 9100 for the Node Explorer itself. So we need to open that port 9100. So let's open that before we run the script quickly. So let me just keep this aside, and then let's open the port 900 Linux 1 security, and then I will open that port 9100, and then I'll just save it. So okay, so I would have done that once though, but I just wanted to, I want to take it step by step so that so this is our script. And then, so this script is going to, just like the way I explained, if you go through it, it's still the same thing. So it's going to install, but we'll manually, I've actually write the script in a way that it should automatically pick the IP address of that server and then join it to the, but it's not, is at times it gives some error. So we'll manually join that. So let's go ahead and install the Node Explorer on the Linux server machine 1. So I'll sudo vi into let's just call it Node Explorer .sh, right? So I will do, oh, it's not gonna go. So I'll do I. You have to press the key I. So then I will do my column, right, and quotes, and then I will use the shell. So I'm going to install this. So I've installed this. Now I need to add this. You can see I put it there that is running. So you got to run this server IP plus plus this 9100 need to be added to the Prometheus server, right? So what we're going to do now is we will stop the Prometheus server. So we will use this same command and say stop. It's always good when you want to, work on Prometheus um, uh, YAML file, which is written inside that Prometheus, to stop the Prometheus first and confirm if it has been stopped. To know that it's stopped, you can see the active is inactive now, it's dead. But that time that is running is active and it's running. Okay, so you can just do Ctrl C and get back to where you are. So to see the file, I think the file, if you go to the file, let's cut that file and see. So it's always we kept it inside the user local bin Prometheus uh, or then Prometheus.yaml. If you look at the script, you'll see that the script that we're written, it's the Prometheus is in that location. You can see we said copy, create. We asked it to create, to make a directory, right? Anyways, look at the instruction here. User local bin. So this user should be you. User local bin Prometheus. So that's where it's been the YAML file resides. So we'll do the same thing. Let's cut and see. No such file in the directory. Do we have made a mistake? So we might need to do, let's do ls user local bin prometheus.yaml. So let's do this. Yep. So we have prometheus.yaml inside that place. So did I make a spelling mistake? So let me do it again. Okay, let me just vi directly into it. So I'll just do sudo vi into user local bin / Prometheus / no, I'll just copy it now because I don't want to make a mistake. So I'll just copy this Prometheus.yaml. Okay, then I'll enter. Why is it saying not found? Using local bin Prometheus.yaml not found. Did that? Oh, damn. I need to VI. I need to vim into it. Yeah. So this is the file. Okay, so I'll press I in my keyboard, and then we can then add the target of that machine. So now this is the local machine. If you are on your network, then you can leave it at local, but I will leave it like that. But you notice that it's not going to scrape this stuff because we are using AWS. AWS has an internal network and has a public network, so it's not going to take it. So but anyways, we'll just do this, and then right now we want to add that server. I mean, this particular server, we want to add this server. But if we use this IP address here, it's not going to work. We need to use the public IP address, for that machine. So, which is that one, but for us to just see again the Linux one, and then we go to details. This IP address, not this one. If you notice, this IP address is the private IP address. This one is not going to work. We need to use the main public IP address that we have opened, right? So where is our Prometheus? Okay, so we will paste the IP address here, and then we do column. It's going to use that same. It's going to, all the Linux will use this same port number, right? So we'll escape, we'll say column right queues, and so we'll quit, and then we save. Okay, so now we have successfully installed the two Prometheus Explorer, and then we've installed Explorer in one of the Linux machine. Okay, so this has been done. So let's confirm if the job is being done on that one, on both of the systems. So let's minimize this. Let's go into the server itself, the Prometheus. Let's see if the Prometheus service is stored. So I'll do http slash, and I will put 99. So 131.211.1.198.9090. So that server is not. So let me see. I think I've done. Didn't I open that port? I think I did. I opened the port. So why is it not running? So okay. So you know why it's not running? Because we powered it off that time. That time we work, so we will need to go there and see the. Let me clear my screen. This is looking too rough. So the Prometheus was stopped. So let's check the status. So the Prometheus was stopped, so it's inactive. So we do Ctrl C, and then we go back, and then we change it to start. The reason why I stop it is because it's always good to stop it when you are editing the YAML file. From my experience, so now it's active. So we can do Ctrl C, and we can minimize this, and you can see automatically it's open. You can see that IP address of that machine, 113.189, 13.189.9090. So it's working fine. So the Prometheus is working fine now, and then we have the target of the Linux machine up, and then we have the Prometheus node explorer itself, up. So now let's click on this. You will notice that Prometheus can't even scrape itself. But if you are doing it on your own on-prem system or your own network, you will realize that you'll be able to get metrics from Prometheus itself, right? But let's go and check this IP. Remember, this IP is the second server. If you look at the server 1, 52.7 and end with 99, that is the server here, 52 and end with 99. If you click on this, do you see that Prometheus is scraping it? So Prometheus is scraping it because it could be able to determine the IP address itself. So what we're going to do is to go inside, and then we will, inside Prometheus server, we will stop Prometheus. So automatically Prometheus will stop here too. If we refresh it, so it will stop. So we'll stop Prometheus, and then we will stop Prometheus, and we will change that IP. So VI to it, and then we change the IP to the IP of that machine. So the IP is this, I believe. Let me go copy it. So we'll copy this, and then I'll go here. Okay, I'll press I, and then I'll paste. Interesting. Don't do that. I'll just escape and quit. I don't want to mess around with that file. Okay, so I'll press I. So I'll just get the IP address again. So that's the IP address. And then I will save it. Column WQ that. And then I'll start Prometheus again. So I will go back to the machine and refresh. So now, if I click on the Prometheus itself, now it's going to start scraping. Because we need that scraping, right? That's the purpose of what we're trying to do. So that has been done now. So we can scrape Prometheus and one of our server, and they are up. So it's going to go up. Is because we shut it down the other time. So it's back up now. So now let's try to look at other stuff like the rules. Even though it will get the rules. So you can have a rules of what you want to do, right? So let me not use this. Let's use I have a rule that I've created. So let me use this rule. I have a rules here. So it's just the same way, that you have to create your service file. So this rule will be targeting the memory. I want to check the RAM, so anytime that the RAM is down and is, less than 0, I mean up to going less than 0, right? Or going up to that 0, from 100%. So let me put it that way. So you can be able to see, the instance status. So, and that will also work with the alert itself, so that you can get an alert when the memory is running very low. So you will get an alert that says severity critical, and then within 1 minute that is up for 0, then you will get that alert, right? So I want to keep this video as short as possible, but I'm going to keep all of you can work on these rules, add more rules to it, and but if you look at what I keep there, after you do that, then you need to go to the rules, and then you go to Prometheus. If you look at what I write there, you go to the Prometheus YAML file, and then you will, under the rules, then you have to put your Prometheus rules underscore YAML. All right, so I will copy this. So I will install it in the Prometheus server itself. So before that, I may not stop, and I may stop because until I wanted to work on the distance. So I will do sudo bi. Let me call it Coyote rules .sh. I'll press I to edit, and then I'll keep that there. I'll escape, and then I'll save. Then I'll run that script. Please go through the script and read through, because if I should start explaining the script, the video is gonna be too long. All right, so I have already done that now. So if you look at the script, I've already put the Prometheus binary will be saved here, right? And after that, after all of you can add more to whatever rules you want to keep. After that, go to the Prometheus YAML file to make changes. So you sudo into the same place I've been doing, right? You sudo into here, sudo vi into here. You can even come to copy that and go to the rules. Under the rules underscore file, just add Prometheus underscore root.yaml, which is what we created here, and then add it to it and then restart the server, right? So that's what we're going to be doing. So we will go back, we will stop Prometheus, and then we will go inside the, I think I copied it the other time. We'll just go inside the Prometheus YAML file, the same file we have all those stuff. So we look for rules. So under rules, this is the rules. So we'll type what the script asks us to do. We'll just type the Prometheus, like you can see the example is actually there. It's just for us to follow the example that they kept. So we put like this, and then double column, and I mean hyphen. So and then we'll put Prometheus rules. So YAML. So that's the file where that is containing that rules that I installed. Then I will save it, and that's it. So I may decide not to go there. Let's quickly do alert manager. So I want to make sure we do everything in one video. So no, this is not the one I want to use here. These are other scripts. Okay, so we have the alert manager. So if you look at the alert manager, I also have a kind of documentation procedure. After the script finishes, uncomment the alert manager 9093. So alert manager is running under the port 9093. So let's quickly go to our AWS and allow that port number. You need to allow that port number 1993. So we'll go to the security, then we grant that port number 9093, and then we will save it. So we'll go back to our this, and then we'll go back to our script. So once we finish, then we'll go to Prometheus and make that changes in there. So this alert manager, actually, please take your time to go through it. It goes through, the variable, like I said, everything is the way I have been writing it. But if it gets to that alert manager itself, there are configuration alert manager.yaml that need your own attention. If you are using Gmail, if you Google Gmail, you see these are the things you have to use, except if it changed by the time that you want to do it. Their SMTP server is very important. So your email address will be this, and then your authentication username will be the same. Then your password, of course, you don't want to do hard coding. So I want to put my own password in the vault. So you might use like Azure Vault. Then you will call it, right? So maybe I will just create another script where you will be able to call your secret from secret vault, like Azure Vault, or which other one like that? I've forgotten many of those vault. So, and then call your password from there to this place, but you have to go through the process by authenticating user using Azure CLI and all of that to authenticate into your vault, and then call your password from there, those DevOps stuff. So receive an alert, when uh, uh, your stuff is down, any of your instances down, like the rules that we've created. So, and then you have to validate it. So this automatically is going to validate. So once this finish, it will run on this local host. So we will then, go and uncomment the alert manager in the Prometheus YAML file. So we need to run the alert. It's just an example, and you will see how Prometheus will also detect it once we finish it. Let's go into Prometheus itself, and let's use sudo vi. Okay, so let's call this one alert manager.sh. Press I and we paste it and escape. I'll keep all this script in my GitHub in the link below. So you just go there, copy it, amend it as well. So we will run it. Run the alert manager. Please always make sure that your Prometheus is actually off where you're doing it. Let's check the Prometheus status. I know I kept it on stop initially, so it's active, so that's okay. So we want to edit the Prometheus YAML file now. So I will stop Prometheus. Then I will go inside that file. This is the file. So I'll press I. Then you have to uncomment. Look at, you need to uncomment this. This now, just take away the comment so this become active. This alert become active, and we have already created a port for it in the inbound rule. So let's start Prometheus back. All right, so let's go inside. Let's take this away. Let's go inside Prometheus and refresh Prometheus. So under alert, we'll be able to see the alert discovery, alert manager discovery. So this is the alert. That's the alert manager discovery there. Because we didn't use the IP there, so it's going to also keep rolling like that, but we don't even need that one. All we need the alert for is to alert us when there is a problem. So let's remember, we also do a rule. Let's check our rule. Do you see my rule? The rule that I created for memory, percentage. So let's say we execute that my rule. Do you see the rule is taking effect on this IP address 52.1.2 ended with 99, which computer is that? I think it's the Prometheus that have. No, it's not Prometheus. Let's see the first one. So 5299 is taking effect on this server. Let's also see the second one, 1389, 189. So that is for the Prometheus server itself, right? So this rule, if we execute it and say graph, we'll be able to see now. You can see the memory that it used, and then it will tell you this one. The color is looking the same, but at times it might take the color like differently, but it's a different color though. So different one is actually doing the job. You can see. So if you look at this one, the memory is not really much that we use, but we're using this just because this is the server that we've been running on it. You can see, but of course the graphical illustration is not really friendly for us to see, but we'll be able to see a better visualization when we get to Grafana. So the next thing we want to do now is so we've done, let's look at what we've done so far. We have installed Prometheus and Node Explorer. We have created a rule. We have installed Alert Manager. We have joined Linux to Node Explorer in the Prometheus, right? So the next thing we want to do now is to install the Windows Node Explorer. you know, Prometheus is not originally meant for Windows, so but now there is uh, Windows Explorer that we can use. So we need to RDP. We can't SSH into Windows, so we need to RDP. And to do that, it's because we are not running on our virtual box. We are on virtual box, so we don't need much problem like this. Just connect directly and use without any other remote control, remote desktop control to link it. So, right, we need to go inside Connect. We'll click on Connect, and then you have to go to your RDP. And then when you click on your RDP, I'm even forgetting how we do it. So RDP, you click on that. So because we need a password, we get it. So if you come here and mobile esteem is very capable of doing a lot of things. If you come here and you do RDP, and then you copy that IP address. For example, let's say we don't do this. Let me show you what you will get if you don't do this. So the public IP address is this, and then what is the port number for RDP? I think it's 3389. Okay, so we need to open the port also. So if we do Windows and then we try to connect through here, and then we go here, season and RDP, and we put this into it and we call it, of course, it's always administrator, right? Cool. So yeah, 3389, that's the RDP. If we do connect, it will ask us for the password. So we need to get the password in one way or the other. So, and also we need to open that port 3389. Right. So how do we get the password? We don't know the password, right? So we need to go back into the AWS and then do connect. And once we do connect, we do the RDP, and then we will say get password. So it will to tell us to you can connect to your window to it's definitely gonna ask us to upload that PEM file, that we selected. So it will say, yeah, that's it. So when you click on that, it will say upload the key. This key is not the one I selected when I was installing. I mean, when I was creating that server, I used a separate key. So I use Win. So this key, I will decrypt it. There was an error decrypting. Please ensure that you have entered a private key correctly. Did I use this key when I was doing it? Interesting. So I thought I used I used the wing key. So it's this one that I used then. So we gotta decrypt it. So we decrypted that key and then we'll copy the password. Now we can go back to the instance and then go to our mobile esteem, come here and then RDP. Oh man, how many things will I do now? God, I need to copy the password somewhere because I'll copy something else. So let me copy the password elsewhere because I need to go copy the IP address. So let me go back. Except if I will note it down 5220. I don't want to bother my brain on that. So I will just go back and do this RDP, and then I'll do it this way, and Windows Server will always be administrator, and then that's it. We will just connect, and then the password that we created in that place, we will put it. We'll put the password that we decrypted in here, and then we should be good. I don't think we have opened the port number. We need to open that 3389, so it's going to get an error. So let's go open that port. We need to open the RDP port. Yeah, that's giving us issue. RDP has been disconnected. Yeah, so we need to go open that port. So we need to go open the port. So we will do inbound rule, and then we will open a port for, that's fine, the port for 3389. and then we'll save it. So we'll go back, we'll reconnect. All right, so our Windows server is coming up. All right, so we want to save it. It's fine. So what we need to do, because I don't like to keep, putting, do we have errors again? No, I think it's booting. So we need to basically, this is the guide to install the Node Explorer on Windows. The Windows Explorer run on port 9182, so we need to also make sure we open that port. So let's quickly go open 9182 port. So 9182. So we'll do 9182. So anywhere and save it. All right, so we'll come back, and then so it's running on this. To test the installation, we have to use the server IP with the port 9182 and add the server. We're going to add that server IP with the port number to Prometheus YAML file where the node exporter IP are, right? So now let's get on to the installation part. So what we're going to do is to create a file with because we are using PowerShell, we create a file, and then we will copy this. We'll copy this script, and then we will just run it. So let us do that. We will just come here, and then we have to use the PowerShell. I hope the system is ready. It's going to be a little bit slow because we use a T2 micro. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time. Yep, we are there. So we'll run it as administrator. So we run it as administrator, and then so like I said in the script, I think it's just gonna be too small. We create a file that end with this. So let's do that. So before that, I would like to keep my file in a very simple way. So I will go back and then go back, so we can know the file is just right there. So we need to create a file, and we can do a file name. What should we call it? Let's call it win node exporter. Let's call it win exporter.ps1. So we want that extension. So we'll create that. So that has been created. I can't remember what we used to do there. dir. Okay, correct. Okay, so I will go check my file if truly is existing in the C drive. So this is the file. So I'll open the file. Then this is the script. Inside the script, I said copy the file. Just go through it. You see, go to the C drive and paste the below script without the line. So just copy from here, and then paste it here, and just save it. So once that is done, you can close, and then I've already put how you will be able to run that script to there. So all we just need to do is, let me bring the script back. So you can just use, once you are in the part where you have that file, the file is residing in C, right? So just run the file with this. Oh, what's happening? It's not recognized as the name of the command length. Why? It should. So let me do the it's cool. The file is there. Okay, so I have to type it by myself then, and then back it. Where's my backslash? And then I will do win exporter.ps1. All spellings are right. So let's see. It should go. All right, cool. So it's running our request now. So it's going to install Win Node Exporter on the window machine. So once that is done, the next thing for us will be to install. To confirm it, we need to add it to the Prometheus server, and then we will install Grafana. All right, so it's done. So the window exporter is running on 9182, which we have already opened. 9182, I believe we've opened it. 9182. Let me quickly go confirm that. Inbound rule 9182. Okay, so uh that has been opened. So we will go inside. We'll go inside the place, and then let's go inside and then have, where is this? Okay, cool. So we need to go and add that machine to the Prometheus. So we gotta stop Prometheus. Then we have to get inside here. So the target is still what we will keep that file in. So we will do comma space colon. So it's running on 9182 with the IP address. So we need to go get the IP address. Let's get the IP address of that machine. Let's grab it. So go back. And then the file is on 9182. And then we will escape. And then we will start Prometheus back. It's very important to confirm if Prometheus start properly, because it can be very funny when you make changes. So it's active, it's showing active and running. That makes everything is good. So we have installed the window explorer. So let's go see the let's go and see Prometheus if is scraping our target. Correct. So we have 3 target now. So we'll not do the third Linux. Let's just keep it on this. So we have this target 116. Yeah, the 116 is our window. Is our Windows server. So if you click on this now, it's scraping it. Correct. Scraping, because it has to scrape it. That's when Grafana will be able to pick that scrape, because that is the purpose of all of this. Okay, so yeah, so what we want to do next is to install Grafana, right? Because of course Grafana is the main thing that will allow us to. So for Grafana is not that difficult. It's just the same thing, but of course Grafana run on port 3000. So we need to make sure that we have the port 3000 um, opened in our machine, in our group. So let's go inside our security group, and we need to open port 3000. I think that's 3000. Anywhere. Okay, so yeah, we'll go back and then we will install Grafana. So those ones are simple, but in the script I wrote it there that for troubleshooting purpose, Grafana, let's say at times you forgot your Grafana password and all of that. The password is, it comes with admin. At times you don't even remember, but in case you want to troubleshoot Grafana, you have to go through the initial location, which is in user share Grafana. You see the ini file there. So Grafana ini location also can be in ECT Grafana. So just please go through all of this. If you forget your admin password, you can use this sudo Grafana CLI admin reset admin, then you reset it. If it doesn't work, you have to change directory into what I said, the share Grafana here, and then run the command again. So to install the Grafana dependency, we have all of this here. So all of this we installed. They're just very straightforward scripts, right? But we just want to prevent copying and paste, right? And then the Grafana will be running on this. So in this case, we have to use because we are not running on-prem, so we have to use the Grafana IP address in the YAML file, right? So we need to add, we need to use the IP address, sorry. So that is it for Grafana. So I'm going to copy the script. You also copy it that way. And then we will go to our Prometheus server and do sudo vi grafana install.sh. I'm putting install just to know, there might be other folder there. I just want to make sure that I keep this. I'm really getting tired. It's 2 a.m. in the night, so I'm getting so tired for today. Okay, so I will do sh and say, so I'm gonna run Grafana. I believe I have opened all the port that I needed to open, so Grafana just need to run. So once it finishes, we'll be able to. So it's gonna download. So I'm gonna pause the video and allow it to finish all of it. At times, Grafana is very funny when you are calling those sites. It might not really answer you, so you might need to do it again and again, and then it will work. But most times, if you are running it on Red Hat, then you have to use the one for Red Hat, right? So it's okay, everything is working fine. So let's go check Prometheus. If Prometheus status. Prometheus is also running. So what we need to do now is to go inside our machine and check the Windows Server IP address and copy it. Come here, put it here, and put 3030, no, 3000. So that's our Grafana. That should work. Oh, no, that's not our Grafana. I'm already finished sleeping. Okay, so that's not where our Grafana are. Let me go to running. Where is the Prometheus? This is Prometheus. Prometheus. Grafana is running inside the Prometheus, not inside the Grafana, not inside the window. So, yeah. So we have our Grafana working now. So, of course, the initial this thing is admin. So it will tell you to put a password, blah blah blah. I'm not ready to put a password, so I'm just gonna skip this. So so now Grafana has been installed successfully. So the first thing we need to do now is to connect it. So we have to connect it to, let's see, we have to connect to what has been installed. Well, because we installed it in our Prometheus, let's see what it has targeted. Do you see? Alert Manager has been installed. It can target the Alert Manager. It can target the Prometheus because it has been installed. Other services are there, but these are the things that we've installed. So automatically, Grafana has already started picking uh, uh, the the installation that is within the data connective connection. Sorry. So if I click on that, and then I will say add a new data source. To add a new data source, I need to copy the IP. It has given us the proper info. So Grafana, Prometheus is running on this IP up to this port number. We'll copy it. We'll come here. Then we paste it, and then we can come down and test it. So it says successful. So correct, successful. So that has been linked. Let's go to another new connection. Alert Manager. We don't want to do that now because I didn't put my original password and email. So let's go to dashboard. So that's where we begin to see the beauty of it. Because look at it. This one, we can't get the beauty of nothing in this place because of the old the graphic is not even it's not even making any sense, right? So yes, it's doing. We can see that we don't use this one, and this one was stable. But let's go Grafana to see a lot because we want to see our information like CPU, memory, time that the machine has been active. So you can click on dashboard. There are dashboard that has already been pre-configured. You can create your own, but I think it's better to do this. So to find dashboard, you can go through the Grafana URL, and then there are plenty of dashboard, but you need to be very specific. Look at this one, Node Exporter Full. Do you see, for Prometheus? So if you click on this, you can also search from here, Node Exporter Full. Do you see? Very beautiful. And all you need to do is look at it has 1860. So it's advisable, just come here, copy the ID, come here, paste the ID, just paste the ID, and then load it. Once you load it, you can give it a name if you wish, and then you have to select your Prometheus data source. Is this Prometheus? That is our default, and then you import it. Do you see that machine? So this is the machine for the node exporter server 1. This is the reason why I try to run host name. If you remember from the beginning of the video, I run a host name, um, 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 host name systemctl, right? uh, to give that machine a name, right? Because if you don't do this, and you just leave it like that, you'll be seeing IP address. So how do you want to identify your machine, right? So you won't be able to identify that machine, right? So that's why I gave it that. I did the host name. You can see, so you can easily be able to identify your server, like Linux server 1. You can see Prometheus server, right? So do you see? If I want to check the Prometheus server now, I can see what's going on, right? So with this, I can see, I can come here and see my memory. I can see, there are different type of um, dashboard that you can use, to see, CPU busy 0 point this, the RAM use is this, swap, the root, different one that you can pick from, and informations are still down, the storage, it's beautiful, right? So you can let me look for other beautiful dashboard too. Look at this dashboard too. Let me import this one. There's a dashboard which is 16650. I think I've used this before. So if you load it, and then dashboard name system has the same UID. Okay, so it's the same one. So yeah, um let's try to do for Windows, because if you look at what we have here now, that particular dashboard is, it's only capturing the 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 Linux machine. So, and then we've add Windows within our environment as well. So we can use, let's import a new one, and then you can come here. So let me not do the one I've seen. You can just ask for Windows exporter dashboard. So it will give you various, do you see, give you a lot of dashboard. So you can click on this. Let's see, this one is 14.8 something. Let's see what's going on here. So we can put it and load it, and use the source, and import it. So do you see, the memory, the total memory, the disk usage. You can see we're almost running out of disk. So thank God this one is very virtual. Let's go check it within our machine to see if Prometheus and Grafana are telling us the truth. So go to the machine. Do you see we're almost running out of memory? I mean, uh, at this capacity, you can see the free space is very low compared to the use space. So in percentage, we have run out, we are almost running out. So if you want to look at what is targeting here, it's true. There's another one like 16. Let me look at another one that is, let me import the one that I've used before, 21679. This is also beautiful. Oh, it's almost having the same thing. Let me just override this and see. You see, this is also having disk volume. Do you see 81? You can easily see that you are running out of disk on your system. You can manage, in the last 5 minutes, what happened. So if I restart this PC now, you will see when it goes idle and all of that. So this is the beauty of having to use uh, you know uh, Grafana to actually check what is going on. You can see how beautiful it is. There's a lot you can do within this Grafana to see what is going on, the network traffic. You can see the network traffic. You'll be able to get all information that you needed to get with the help of Prometheus and Grafana that will scrape that information. I wish I could take this video longer, but it's really early here. It's almost 3 o'clock now. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you are able to make use of it and develop more on it, and enjoy the use of open source, instead of those other ones that are more efficient too. And the Prometheus can as well go as far as getting network switches and all of that, if you know how to go about it. And also for the alert manager, it's pretty well. It's just what I did there, but you just need to make sure that, I don't want to add code, right? I need to call it from my Azure, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video and have a good evening or morning or night, wherever you are. So please share and like, and I will keep all the script in my GitHub repo and in the link below. All right, thank you. Bye.